Have you ever lost your way? This is what happened to Christian in the well-loved book The Pilgrims' Progress by John Bunyan. He followed the wrong advice from a man called Mr. Legality. Fortunately, he meets up with Mr. Goodwill, who leads him back on the right path. It's the straight path, and not many find it. In the Holy Bible, in Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 to 14, it tells you about the straight path, that the way is easy that leads to destruction, and many enter it. The gate that is narrow, the way is hard, but it leads to life, and those who find it are few. So Christian, still with his burden, which represents sin, on his back, is instructed by Mr. Goodwill to go to the Interpretor's house, who will show him excellent things. That's the whole point, you see. He is on the path to get rid of the burden on his back, and that is the place of deliverance. Deliverance means to rescue or set free. After meeting an interpreter, he leads him in many rooms. The first is a private room. A picture of a grave person is hung up against the wall, his eyes lifted up to heaven, Bible in his hand, law of truth written upon his lips, the world behind his back, and he stands as if he is pleading with men, with a crown of gold hovering over his head. The picture resembles a preacher of the gospel, who is sincere and inspiring, a man of God. Remember the man so that you will distinguish any fakes who try to mislead you. The Bible helps us to do this. Christian is then led down a very large parlour full of dust. Interpreter calls for a man to sweep out the room. The sweeping raises large clouds of dust. A woman standing by is instructed by interpreter to bring water and sprinkle it in the room. As soon as it's done, the room becomes easier to clean. The meaning of the dream is that the parlour is the heart of man, which has to be swept out to remove the dust of sin and corruption. The woman with the water is the gospel that makes the soul clean and fit for the King of Glory to inhabit. In the New Testament, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26, the washing of water is symbolized as the Word of God, the Holy Bible. He then visits two small children, Passion and Patience. Passion symbolizes someone who wants everything in this world now, and patience symbolizes someone who is willing to wait for his reward in heaven. Christian is then whisked away to a place where there is a fire burning against a wall. A man throws water on the fire to put it out. He doesn't see what's going on the other side, but on the other side is someone secretly adding fuel to the flames from a vessel of oil. So what does it mean? The man who secretly was adding oil to the fire is of Jesus, who continually with his oil of grace keeps the work already begun in the heart going. The man trying to put it out is like the devil, but he can't see what's happening or the grace of God. Christian is then taken to a beautiful palace where a crowd of people want to get in. A man is writing the names of those people that can enter, but some don't. There's a troop of armed men barring people from entering. A man comes dressed in armour and fights through with ready sword in hand. He manages to get through to the palace with many wounds and scars from the battle. A pleasant voice is heard welcoming him. "Come in, come in, eternal glory thou shalt win." Christian, about to go, is taken to another room. A man is in an iron cage, the cage of despair. He is very sad. The sad man was once a faithful Christian, hopeful of getting to the celestial city, but he was tempted by the lusts, pleasures, and profits of the world. He soon slipped away from the Christian life and renounced his faith. He became an apostate. An apostate is someone who abandons or rejects his faith. Christian sees one more room, a chamber where a man is getting up from bed, and as he dresses himself, he is shaking and trembling. He had a dream about the future. He is scared because he thought the day had come when he would be judged. It is written in the Bible that one day we will all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil. So did Christian understand the deeper meaning of all the excellent things he had been shown? Can you remember them?